Naturally, I experienced monthly withdrawal bleeding for 9 months and 28 days that I was on the Femoston 2x10. So with previous medications, I never experienced a monthly withdrawal bleeding, but Femoston 2x10 was the very first medication I experienced monthly withdrawal bleeding. Hi guys, welcome back to Blossom Living with POI. Before I proceed, I just want to make sure that you're all well and keeping safe. And also, if you've not subscribed to my channel, I want you to do so right now and hit the notification bell while you're there. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about HRT, and I'm going to be talking about Femoston 2x10 and Femoston 1x5. The Femoston-Conti 1x5. So let's get into this video then. I recently went back on the Femoston-Conti 1x5. As you know, I was on the Femoston 1x5 for 8.5 years before moving on to the Femoston 2x10. And because some of my menopausal symptoms started to come back, that's why I went on the Femoston 2x10. With this medication, I noticed that my body adjusted to it quick enough. I didn't really have any major issues in the beginning. However, I noticed that I started to twitch. And with that being said, when the twitching started, it was just underneath my eye, and it was visible. And I thought, okay, maybe this is just a way of my body getting used to the medication. So I was like, okay, let's see how this plays out and see what happens. But over time, I noticed that other part of my body started to twitch. And I wasn't really sure at this stage if the twitching was related to the HRT or if it was related to thyroid, because I do suffer from an overactive thyroid. And so when the twitching started to progress even more and it started getting really bad, the fact that when one particular part of my body twitches, the rest of my body just shakes. Like that particular area there, like for example, I get twitching at the bottom, just before my private area. So when that part twitches, the whole of my stomach literally shakes. And, you know, I had been to my GP, I had been to the ERO to see a doctor because it was affecting me so badly I could not sleep. And they were not able to help me. I was told maybe it's because I was not eating right, or I was stressed, I was not sleeping, I was drinking too much caffeine. And I knew this from a fact personally that this was not the case. This was more than just being tired or being stressed. And eventually my GP was able to prescribe a sleeping tablet for me to knock me out. But that helped for a while, and then it just didn't do much for me anymore. But I took this on because I was being really patient, because I knew, okay, sometime this year I was going to see a reproductive specialist and they'll be able to further help me. They'll be able to further do the testing, whatever is necessary to determine what is going on with me. And so that was the old plan initially, for me to see a specialist. But when I found out this year that my name was not even on the list to see a specialist, after asking so many times over the years, especially this year, every time I went for my thyroid appointment, I was always asking, when will I see the specialist? When will I see the specialist? And I was told, do not worry, your name is on the list. And I just found out this month actually that my name is not even on the list to see a specialist. Now, for me, that was just a straw. I had enough at that point, and I was even more eager to see somebody because of what's been going on with the new medication. But the fact that I was not even on the list, I have not even been considered or put on the list to see somebody. And now I'm being put on the list at this moment, which is going to push me back. I was angry. I was upset. So I made the firm decision. I called my GP and I told him, look, I am going to request for a few blood tests. I requested for a blood test for my FSH, for my LH, estrogen, thyroid level, and calcium, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and among other things. So what I'll do is I will put a list of the blood tests I requested in the description box. And I'm going to pick up the blood test sometime this week. I'm going to pick up the results of the blood test sometime this week. So I'll be able to share that with you guys. So back to the story. I told my GP I want this blood test, and also I want a prescription for the Femoston 1x5. So I want to go back on the Femoston 1x5, because when I was on the Femoston 1x5, I didn't experience any sort of body twitching. And I've had thyroid before. This was not the first time, the second time, neither the third time I have been re-diagnosed with thyroid. This was like the 7th time. So I've never experienced twitching before on thyroid, and I've never experienced twitching before on HRT until I started the HRT 2x10. And with my own research as well too, because twitching can be related to a lot of things, and it can also be related to specific medications. So by doing some research, I also found out that twitching can also be caused by estrogen. So instantly that clicked. I was like, okay, maybe the estrogen level on this Femoston is too high for me. Maybe that's why my body has resorted in twitching. So, and I picked that up straight away. And also even the leaflets, I don't know if anybody has read their leaflet. I always resort to the leaflets whenever anything new is going on with me. And also read on my Femoston leaflet that some of the side effects that is uncommon that has been reported is also twitching. That's why I believe for a fact that my twitching is related to the Femoston 2x10. The estrogen is probably too high, or something is going on that my body was not agreeing with. And bear in mind that I did not experience any other kind of symptoms with the Femoston 2x10. It was just the twitching, nothing else. And also one more thing, actually, I experienced monthly withdrawal bleeding for 9 months and 28 days that I was on the Femoston 2x10. So with previous medications, I never experienced a monthly withdrawal bleeding, but Femoston 2x10 was the very first medication I experienced monthly withdrawal bleeding. With the Femoston-Conti 1x5, it's a combination of estrogen and progesterone. And with this one here, it was 14 days estrogen and 14 days progesterone, I believe. Just to be sure, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. So I experienced monthly withdrawal bleeding with this, and yeah, that is really all I want to talk about in regards to this. I really hope that with the lower dose now of the Femoston that my twitching will reduce or stop permanently. So we'll see what happens. It's only been 8 days, so I'm going to give it between 2 to 3 months just to see what happens then. And I wanted to share that as well too, because this is the thing, HRT can affect everybody in different ways, and also being on a low dose and on a high dose of HRT can affect you differently as well too. So and yeah, so I'll just have to wait and see what happens then. And if you guys have any further questions for me, you can leave a comment below, or you can send me a message on Instagram. And until my next video, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care now. Bye.